I feel you. When you said that word healing, I think it triggered me, and I wanted to add that to my list of words that needs to be banned. But we'll pick that up another time.
What's wrong with healing, Wayne?
We gonna have to, because you gonna get a lot of argument from me on that one.
Yeah.
Here we go. So for the idea of healing, I think people say it, but they have no intent. Correction. I perceive no intention of actually growing or attempting to grow through that conversation based on their actions and behaviors. We use the language of I'm trying to heal, but in reality, the steps that I would consider healing look nothing like the actions that person is taking.
I think that people are confused and that they probably don't understand that it takes time. I think that we live in a society that wants everything to happen very quickly. You know, we have microwaves and instant pots, and everything happens so fast. We have the internet. And when they use the word healing, I don't think that they understand. I don't think that I think there's a group of people who do not understand that it's going to take a while and you're going to have to do this work for a very long time because you're basically trying to invoke change in yourself and you've been this way for a while. So, yeah. I like the word healing, but I think people need to probably understand it a little bit more.
I agree with you. Um the part that particularly stands out to me about what you just said, Kariki, is the time aspect. And particularly you're pointing out something like if you're doing something different that has been a part of your life for a very long time, it's going to take a long time. It would be reasonable for it to take a while to heal through that. If I'm trying to heal from something that's been going on in my space for 20 years, I may not be appearing to be moving very far to you by the third or fourth year, but it's been in my life for 20 years. So it could take me years to be able to evolve in a way where it looks to you like something different has happened to me. And I think, though I understand what you're saying, Wayne, my concern with um, the particular words you use, which I don't think most people are as conscious of when they use them, is it don't look what you doing don't look like healing to me. But you can't say that. People, like all people in by and large, you can have that to say, but you can't know what healing looks like for me. Part of healing for me could be blowing up in a conversation one day and then the next day having resolution or offering apology in a different conversation. It could all be a part of the healing process. It will not be me personally healing through something will not be me seated in the corner in meditative state for 3 months and then come out gold. And if that's what you're expecting, then you might, like discover yourself in some different space because we're not going to be able to convene while I heal through something. So you would have to give me better rationale than the actions that people take don't look like the ones you would associate with healing in order for me to cancel that word.
2 weeks ago, conversation. Um, Said any person, I'm trying to get over this relationship. All right, cool. What steps are you taking? Well, I'm going to book a flight and I'm going to fly out there to have a conversation with this person. Okay. Where are you staying at? Oh, I'm staying at their house. The one bedroom? Yeah, the one bedroom. I'm staying there. So you're going to fly out. You're going to stay at the one bedroom and you're going to sit in that space and y'all are going to heal and recover as y'all prepare to separate yourselves from one another. Yes, that's what we're going to do. To Wayne, that doesn't look like healing. To Wayne, that looks like you're putting yourself back in a space to get cut again.
Sometimes people's healing process includes them getting cut again.
Sounds great, boss. I'm just telling you, as a non-expert in the healing category, I would say that's probably not a space that you should sit in.
It might
Or
not be a
be
space you should sit in. It might not be a space you should sit in, but you still may end up there on your journey to healing. It's a journey, not exit strategy. Everyone's healing plan is not a strategy. Maybe it should be more strategic, but it's not always like that.
And
Also,
go ahead, ma'am.
I was just going to say, I also think that there's a difference between people that you speak to or see all the time that's healing, and then someone that may have gone away for a while. So I know someone who I haven't spoken to in years who went through a, tumultuous time, and that person is very different now. But then I also know people who went through a tumultuous time and they're still working on those things. And every once in a while, I'm like, dang, that person is a little teensy bit different now. It takes a long time. And if you see them all the time, you might not notice it. Just like if someone's losing weight, you're not going to notice that person is losing weight if you see them every day. But maybe you'll go on vacation for 2 weeks and then come back and be like, dang, that person is small. So I think that healing, it just depends on who it is.
So does it get to a point to where we have to put pressure on people to heal? Because I think there are people who enjoy being in pain and they don't move towards the healing that they need.
I'm not licensed, bro, so I can't call it. Here's what I can say, though. You only have so many times to call me and talk to me about your situation before I say, hey, man, I'm not your therapist. You need to go get some professional assistance, because what I'm going to tell you to do, it may devastate you even more. So I can't call it. Here's what I do know. If I were you, I don't think that I would do that, which is not necessarily helpful for those that are going through their various stages of healing.
I don't think it's not necessarily helpful. I just don't think it necessarily will always resonate immediately. If it is helpful, you may never know that it was helpful, or you may not hear about it being helpful until way later. Because just because you have something reasonable and could be very helpful to say doesn't mean that someone is available to receive it yet. And I just think there's a difference between how you aid someone in their healing and how the person actually heals. You only have responsibility over the part that is yours. So like you said, Wayne has boundaries, which I think is helpful for someone who is assisting through healing. Hey, we gonna talk about this a few times. I didn't said this the first time we talked. I'm willing to say this to you a couple more times. This is the last time I'm going to say that this is what I would not do if I were you. This is my real sound rationale. Do what you must. And this is what I'm saying to you. So it's not necessarily a forcing through healing. It's definitely standing in your integrity in someone else's healing, though, I think. This is the person I am, and therefore the friend I am. This is what I have to offer. On the other hand, you, in your own journey that I trust you in, take what you will take right now and do with it what you will. And I will make decisions whether I will still be present with you while you go through this. And you can make decisions whether you'll still be with me while you go through it as well, if there's too much difference in how we feel. I just don't think necessarily the difference, I don't think the difference in feeling or thought about how something should go necessitates can't talk separation. Or I think the only reason why you would try to force somebody to go through something is if you need to hurry up and get out the room, but they're not gonna go through it, and you trying to make sure that you can stick around with them. The only way I can stay here with you is if you get through this the way that I want you to do it, without me having to make any decisions that I'm gonna change my posture here. If you don't gotta do that, you don't need to rush nobody through nothing. You can just be you, and they can be and they can be them.
That's very true, and I think part of my self awareness through it all is I don't like putting a lot of time into the same action. So we discussed it, we identified it by nature. I consider myself what I describe as a problem solver, and see it, hear it, observe it, act on it, execute, push forward. Not good for everybody. Don't try
No.
it. 1 out of 10, highly not recommended. But for myself and even our brother Antonio, that's one of the conversations we have, and one of the reasons why we click so well. That's how we live. We see it, we observe it, we process it, we action it, we push forward. But that's a self-awareness thing.